So classic hardcore WoW has been out for a while now, and so far, it's been a bit fucking scuffed. People are falling to their deaths, they're getting disconnected to death, and people are even dying to the world itself ejecting them. But I've never died to any of this stuff, because I am built different. But if that's the case, why am I here, leveling up a fresh character over 6 weeks after the servers went live? Well, that's because I've fallen victim to the most dangerous killer in hardcore WoW. My own stupidity. You see, before the official hardcore servers went live and everyone was still using the add-on, I decided to play a priest named My Wife Left Me. Don't get me wrong, I was doing well. The problem was, I was really bored. So, when Blizzard announced the official servers, I decided I would take a risk. I decided I would do something dangerous. I decided to play warrior. The servers went live, and at first, everything was going great. I made my way through Durotar, completing every objective in my path until there was only one thing left to do in the zone. One final challenge until I got to leave. Skull Rock. But like I said, I'm built different, so I wasn't about to let some fucking cave in the starting zone stop me. Without hesitation, I made my way into Skull Rock, ready to smite down any enemy in my path. I got all of my Searing collars, my lieutenant's insignia, and even the Eye of Burning Shadow. But right as I was leaving the cave, at the very end of my journey, the final point where anything could go wrong, I ate shit and died right here. Yeah, not even inside the fucking cave, how embarrassing. But I'm not giving up that easily. We go again. Now thinking of the first attempt as a warm-up, I made my way back through Durotar on a second character. Armed with newfound respect for Skull Rock, I made sure to take it more carefully this time. And my caution served me well, because this time I died inside the fucking cave. Now you might be wondering, how? How the hell do you die to the exact same starting zone cave twice in Hardcore Classic? And rest assured, I didn't die to this starting zone cave twice. I also didn't die to this cave 3 times. No. You see, in truth, I've died in Skull Rock on Hardcore Classic 5 times. Fuck! I'm not even going to explain how this happened, okay? Look, I died, and I died again, and I died again, and again, and again, and again. However, I do have 2 things I need to bring up regarding this situation. First off, I've only been playing the game for the last 16 years, so I really haven't had enough time to get good at it yet. And secondly, these 5 deaths are actually just the tip of the iceberg. And I'd love to tell you that these experiences have made me better at the game, but in truth, I think I've just gotten worse. My last death was in Tiragard Hold, at level 6. What the fuck? But at least my buddy Pungsack got out of there. I'm sure that he will tell the world of my heroic deeds. Now you might be wondering about my name, and the fact that it's, you know, not written in English. And that's because I wanted a unique way to track how many deaths I'd had on warriors. And I'm glad I did that, because now I know, without a shadow of a doubt, that this is my 17th warrior. But this time, things are going to be different. This is the one. This is the one where I make it to 60. Why? Because I'm making a YouTube series out of it, of course. So join me and my character
尝试时期
as we make it through Classic WoW Hardcore. Well, you know what they say. 17th time's the charm. The attempt started off like any other, killing boars and sorting out my bars. Cactus apples, scorpions, imps, peons, pickaxe, basement dweller, off to Senjin Village and Razor Hill. After picking up the quests and setting my hearthstone, I made my way down to Tiragard Keep. I didn't find Pungsack, but I did find this priest and warlock, and with their help, Tiragard Castle was easily bested.
第16次尝试
Has been avenged. After murdering all of the humans in their own home, I made my way back to Razor Hill and got the follow-up quest. Barely managed to not drown myself, and got to work on the Echo Isles. Nice. At first, trying to solo Zalazane at level 7 was not going well. But fortunately, getting a group together for this quest is easy, because everyone is constantly dying and having to make new characters. That sounds familiar. Playing safe and taking no risks, I made it out of the Echo Isles and continued on my way. Back in Senjin Village, we acquire 2 of the best items for the early game of Hardcore. The faintly glowing skull and the really sticky glue. Okay, hold on, cut the script. Go back to the skull. Just on the off chance that anyone out there doesn't know, I feel the need to give you a warning about this item. You see, this is a unique, soulbound, one-time use active item which lets you drain an enemy's health and gain it yourself. You can only get it once on each character and it can be incredibly useful, especially in the low levels, for keeping you alive. However, while I was out in the world on one of my other characters, Warrior number 12 or some shit, I found out the hard way that this item can be resisted. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't know about this until it got me killed. So here I am, giving all of you this warning, just in case you didn't know this fun little fact.
I'm gonna break my monitor, I swear!
Anyway, back to the glue. Like the skull, you can only do the quest for this item once per character, but you get 10 of them and they can be used to root an enemy in place for a few seconds, which comes in handy when you start biting off more than you can chew. Watch in terror as I realise I can't 1v1 this harpy, sticky glue it to make some distance, and then realise I forgot to craft bandages, so I have to make one in the middle of the fight. Gee, how did I die so many times on warriors? Anyway, Fuck! Anyway, I finished up the first harpy quest, managed to get Kron's amulet on the 3rd kill, and slaughtered some disgusting pigs. I also tried killing this rare spawn, but then it did this, so I acted like a bitch and kited it into Razor Hill. Don't judge me. And in all honesty, the run was going pretty good so far. However, I still had the 2 biggest challenges in the zone to do, and now, it was time to do the first one. Fizzle. This guy fucking sucks. The pile of corpses did make me a bit nervous, but I've never died to this guy on hardcore. Surprising, I know. These 2 hunters showed up who also wanted to get the kill, and we proceeded to engage in the most fucked up fizzle pull of my entire life. Here, let me show you how bad it went. Keep in mind, it's a smart idea to kill the other mobs around Fizzle first, to make the whole situation easier. And, technically speaking, we did kill the other mobs. I start by pulling this Burning Blade Fanatic because it's the easiest one in the area to kill and doesn't have a ranged attack. Unfortunately, this guy off screen pulls the Burning Blade Apprentice at the same time. Uh-oh. And while I was pulling the Fanatic, this guy decided, fuck it, let's just pull Fizzle while we're at it too. Uh-oh. I start fighting the Fanatic, and then I see 2 Shadow Bolts fly at my group at the same time. You might notice that my movements have become a bit erratic, because I'm contemplating whether to run or to fight. We finish off the Fanatic, I ninja loot this Malachite, and then I try to reset Fizzle, before immediately turning back when I realised that the Hunters were not going to do the same thing. Zarowitz was getting pretty low, but I wasn't sure what to do in this situation. You see, Fizzle was behind this rock, and I didn't think I could go over there and fight him, since I was both a bitch and worried that I was going to facepull other mobs. So instead, I ran around like a dumbass doing nothing before finally deciding to go in. The annoying part about fighting Fizzle is this, Drain Life. Sure do wish I had any ability that could interrupt this. I wondered why it seemed like the other 2 weren't doing any damage, so I turned around and found them fighting another Fanatic. How? How did you pull? How did you do this?
Money, friend!
So they killed a Fanatic, I break the tether for Drain Life, and finally we managed to take down Fizzle. I grab the claw, say thank you, leave the party, and get the fuck out of there.
Zug. For the Horde! Abu!
Oh boy, here we go again.
Strength!
Before returning to the bastard cave, I reached level 10 from killing these harpies, and then headed over to Orgrimmar to talk to Thrall.
Have you come to...
Finally, every objective before me had been bested. There was only one thing left in Only one thing left in Durotar for me to do. I had to remind myself when I was going towards Skull Rock that I'd actually completed the cave more often than I died to it. Unfortunately, this self-psychological manipulation didn't do much to stop my nerves. I didn't want to die to this cave a sick fucking time, man! Alright, here we go. The first person I partied up with was this priest named Quet. I don't know if they spoke English, but we went inside anyway. Other than not getting a stamina buff, everything was going well. Fuck! Shit! In an instant, we had been completely surrounded. I tried to tell Quet to move away, but it was too little too late. After killing one of the mobs, I nearly roached out, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Quet also nearly roached out, but eventually we finished the fight. The hyperspawning was really trying to kill us, but we managed to fight through it and get to Zzzzzzz. This guy also fucking sucks. We were doing well, but I was getting nervous, so I popped my faintly glowing skull to secure the kill. Fortunately, it worked this time. Zzzzzzz drops the Eye of Burning Shadow, and this is the only item that you need to go further into Skull Rock to get. So naturally, because we were both very intelligent, we decided to stay deep inside the cave fighting mobs for the rest of our quests. Quet finished up, so I escorted them outside, and finally I got given a stamina buff. At this point, I'd already completed 2 out of the 3 Skull Rock quests. I could have just sat by the entrance and played it safe until I got my Lieutenant's insignia. But I'm not very smart, so I went back into the cave with this hunter and took a sword I wasn't planning on using. To cut a long story short, we had a full party going for a while, but eventually the hunters had to go. Wix and I were determined though. We weren't leaving this cave without our Lieutenant's insignias. Mob after mob, Fanatic after Fanatic, apprentice after apprentice, we fought our way through Skull Rock over and over again, until finally... Wix got his insignia just a few kills later, and with that, we were out. We were victorious. I parted with Wix and went on my way. I had not died to a starting zone cave. Big fucking deal! Listen, not to shit on my own parade too much, but this isn't exactly the greatest of accomplishments in this game. Though I am happy to be past Skull Rock, especially when you consider that I forgot to buy my level 10 spells before going in. Anyway, to wrap things up, I learned enchanting so that I could get rid of all of these green items I got from Skull Rock, paid a visit to the auction house and got some upgrades, and headed out of Orgrimmar towards my next challenge. Looking back, nothing that crazy even really happened in Duratard this time around. But this was only the beginning. I still had a very long way to go if I was going to reach my goal. And so, making my way west, I wondered what was waiting for me on the other end of that bridge. Hey, thanks for watching the fucking video. If you liked it, remember to give it 5 stars, comment, subscribe. Massive thanks to all of the supporters over on Patreon. Look forward to the next episode in 2026.